I want to cover student conduct and grievances, as well as just some other things that you might need to know if things occur in the classroom, sometimes a little bit beyond our control. First of all, when we deal with student conduct, there is a student behavior decision tree that I'll be providing for everyone in this training. And then that just gives you complete information on how to best handle conduct issues in the classroom, when to contact campus security, when to contact Ms. Goss, our Director of Student Services, when to contact me, when to contact the suicide hotline or something a little more specific. If a student needs to be removed from the class for conduct violations, please email a report of that incident immediately to me so that I can properly address the student and provide the appropriate resolution or framework for how the student can either return to class or if there are further disciplinary measures that need to be taken. I will inform you of what actions are going to be taken as well as what interventions may occur. Without a formal hearing and obviously with a lot of our classes being online, we have to move expeditiously. But generally speaking, a student may miss only 2 class meetings and then they must be allowed to return to class unless there is some pending issues or matters that require that to be longer. If you need to reach public safety, and this will be also on the decision tree I'm going to send you, this is their phone number. If you're in a lab or in class and there's something physically here on campus and you need to contact them immediately, this is that number. As it relates to student conduct, complaints, and grievances, there are all sorts of different ones that come through our processes. You have non-academic grievances, and then we have academic grievances. But the non-academic grievances are generally those for which there may be a grievance, or a student has an issue dealing with being treated improperly, unfair testing procedures. They were advised improperly. There was some sort of disclosure of grades that was improper. A lot of these issues have a different way of being resolved. Specifically, the disciplinary grievances that come. That's a totally different process that we have. Financial aid grievances, academic grades. Again, that's an academic grievable issue, so that comes in a different framework. Discrimination or harassment are also 2 specific ones that would come through a different process, and that process is provided in the student handbook. In either case, the student is going to file the grievance with my office, and we'll provide advisement on how to best proceed, with the exception of obviously the disciplinary issues that arise, which you'll be providing. If there are any appeals for any decision that comes from myself, or as you're going to see from the academic deans regarding academic grievances, those will go to the executive vice president, and her decision is final. Incidentally, if you have a student that is injured on campus, there are some reporting and management protocols that you have, notifying your dean. Campus security usually is dispatched to create an incident report. I also need to be made aware of it so that we can properly process whatever insurance claim is going to occur. So just keep that in mind. We've had a few student injuries in the past that came much later. Here's a very, very important piece of information that's not necessarily related to grievances, but is related to retention. And it is our TEAMS program, which is the TCSG Early Alert Management System. This is a web-based early attrition referral process designed to identify and sustain students who may be at risk of dropping out. The earlier we can get it, that's why it's called Early Alert. If you're noticing students are not logging in, if you notice a student is missing class, if a student is having some other challenges that you're noticing, please use the Teams alerts. Derek Smith and our student success team work through these alerts and also work in concert with you. Please note that when you provide a Teams alert, that is something where it's not just going to be referred only to the success advisor, but we're going to work as a team to hopefully resolve the challenges that maybe we're having. And so Mr. Smith is our retention coordinator. He was previously our HIMT advisor and is doing a wonderful job. And so we're excited to have him working in this capacity. His phone number and his email address are here for all things and all matters related to retention and teams. We'll also note that he's going to be starting a retention committee, and some of you will be drafted if you have any interest in serving on that as we work through this pandemic and work through how to get students and how to keep students. He'll be spearheading that effort, and so you can let him know that as well. When it comes to academic complaints and grievances, any student with a complaint or grievance should follow the chain of command. Faculty, they are empowered to handle conflict at their level before it escalates to the dean. And so we want to empower you to make sure, and even me as a dean of students, I'll always push the student back to the faculty member to see if it can be resolved. And a lot of times it is. Complaint and grievance procedures should be discussed the first day of class so that students know how to file an academic complaint or grievance. And it starts with the faculty member or that program coordinator. If you cannot get resolution there, the student is then able to go to the dean of that division. Once it is exceeds that, if you want to appeal the decision of that academic dean, that goes to the Executive Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs, and her decision is final. So here again is just an outline. You meet with the student and try to resolve any issues or concerns. Listen to the student, hear what it is, try not to be defensive, listen to what it is that they're saying. You can even ask the student to consult, directly to try to come up with a solution, talk to another faculty member. If it's unresolved, the student can complete a concern tracking form or send an email to the dean of the respective division. The dean has up to 10 business days to investigate the concern. If the student is unsatisfied with the dean's decision, the next step is to consult or meet with the Executive Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs. The decision of the Executive Vice President is final. Thank you.